My unvarnished pleasure now.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Squadron Leader Mike Ling, and I am Red 10. I'm the supervisor with the Royal Air Force aerobatic team, the Red Arrows. So I'll be talking you through this afternoon's display, which should be starting in around 2.5 minutes time, and I'll make sure your eyes and cameras are pointing in the right direction so you get to enjoy every last minute of what you're about to see. Well, I've heard from our engineering team at RAF Shawbury that the 9 jets were airborne on time. They're actually carrying out a fly past at the Welshpool Airshow before coming here, so they should hopefully be here on time. I've not heard Red 1 check in on the radio yet, but I will let you know as to their progress when I get an update on the radio. So a little announcement now. For the next 40 minutes, you're going to have to adjust your orientation for the next 2 displays. The Red Arrows display, followed by the Royal Air Force Typhoon display, will be using a modified display line. The recent change to regulations for display flying have dictated that because of the nature of our display and also the Typhoon display, we cannot avoid the town of Albrighton. So we've had to just turn the display line slightly. So now the crowd centre point, the orientation, if you look down towards the right-hand end of the display line, there's a gap in the trees. That is now crowd front. That is where I say look straight ahead. That is where I am asking you to look. The gap in the trees, and that will be where the centre point for the next 2 performances will be. We've got to make sure that the safety is the #1 priority in all of the display flying that we take part in, hence the change to that display line. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've just checked in with Red 1. He said they're on time, so that is 40 seconds to go. We've got 3 types of display. He hasn't said which type of display he's going to be flying. Hopefully, we'll get the... It says now, actually, he's going to start with a rolling display. So, they'll be entering crowd rear as they normally do. This is going to be a fantastic performance, starting in wall formation, laying down some brilliant, patriotic red, white and blue. This wall formation is 1,000 feet wide. The colour smoke comes on. Please welcome the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team for 2017. It's the Red Arrows!
Coming left now. Phoenix.
Entering a left-hand turn, Red 1 calls the pilots into Phoenix formation. Now you'll see the jets collapse to around 6 feet apart as Reds 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 and 9 on the wing move up into line abreast. Reds 6 and 7 tuck in behind to form that Phoenix shape. Red 1 is Squadron Leader David Montenegro. It's his 3rd and final year as the team leader. He is a former Hawk flying instructor and Tornado F3 air defense pilot. He first joined the team back in 2009 and left in 2011, having led the synchro pair. That's him at the front now, leading the boys in Phoenix.
Rolling out. Letting it out. Stop 5. Stop 6.
Pitching up with the coloured smoke on are Reds 8 and 9 as Reds 6 and 7 now tuck in behind. On the leader's right wing is the first of our new pilots this year. He's Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Toby Keeley. Toby is a former Tornado GR4 pilot. More recently, he's been instructing on the Royal Air Force's newest fast jet training aircraft, the new version of this aircraft, which is the BAE Systems Hawk T Mark II. And in fact, you might remember Toby from the T2 roll demo just a couple of years ago. To the right now, the shape of an aircraft, specifically the Spitfire. We've entered this in the display this year to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Battle of Britain memorial flight, and we're about to fly the Spitfire roll.
Rolling out. Easy. Up. And roll.
Upside down, 2,500 feet above us in the shape of the Spitfire. I was very disappointed to arrive when I did. I actually missed the formation display by the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. I was very much looking forward to seeing it, but unfortunately I didn't arrive in time. On the leader's left wing is the next of our new pilots. He is Red 3, Flight Lieutenant Dan Lowes. Dan is a former Typhoon pilot. In fact, his background is solely on the Typhoon, where he was a qualified weapons instructor. More recently, he's been working with the Test and Evaluation Squadron, number 41 Squadron, before joining the team. Now looking front left, we're getting ready for a manoeuvre which we introduced last year, but listening to the feedback from the crowds, we've modified it so that it's even more impressive. Rolling out towards us with the smoke on. Get your cameras ready for Tornado.
8, 9, roll. Go.
8 and 9 with the red and blue smoke on. The front 7 aircraft with their air brakes out.
Coming left now. Bang.
Red 1 enters that 2G left-hand turn for 8 and 9 to finish their rolls. They then tuck in behind, as now you'll see Reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 on the wings drop back to a beam Red 7's aircraft. Red 8 and 9 tuck in behind, and they're forming the shape of that fabulous feat of British aviation excellence. Coming in from the left-hand side, this is Concorde.
Right on. Go.
At the very bottom of the formation is Red 5. Now this year we actually have a returning Red Arrows pilot to the team. Red 5 this year is Flight Lieutenant Chris Lyndon Smith. Smythe's a former Tornado GR4 pilot and Hawk flying instructor. He first joined the team in 2011 and left in 2013. More recently, he has been flying the Hawk with number 100 Squadron, providing target training for the frontline units. So that's him at the top of the formation now as we look at it, as they form our trademark Diamond 9 shape, and they're soon to come in from the right to fly the Diamond Roll.
Rolling out. Easing up. And roll.
Once again upside down at 2,500 feet. All 9 jets smoking white now in our trademark Diamond 9 shape.
In the bank now.
So the smoke goes off to the front left on this new display line. And that is the end of the first part of our performance. So far you've seen all 9 jets together in different shapes performing close formation aerobatics. Well, now we're going to change the tempo of the display and split into smaller formations of between 2 and 7 aircraft. Looking front left, you'll see a big T shape. That shape is Dagger. And at the front of Dagger are Reds 1 to 5. They're known as Enid, after Enid Blyton and her books The Famous Five. At the back in the straight line are Reds 6, 7, 8 and 9. Their collective name as a formation is Jippo. Jippo was the nickname of the gentleman who first led the back 4 aircraft when the Red Arrows started flying 9-ship displays back in 1968. So now cameras ready. Look straight ahead on our new display line. The smoke comes on. We get ready to start the second part of the display.
Enid. Break, break, break.
With the detonator. There go Enid. Keep your eyes on the coloured smoke of Jippo. With his smoke changing from blue to white, over on the right-hand side is Red 6, who's the leader of the synchro pair. He is Flight Lieutenant Tom Bowles. Tom is a former Tucano flying instructor and Tucano display pilot. On the front line, he flew the Typhoon on quick reaction alert duties in the UK and the Falkland Islands. That's him on the right with the smoke on, and he is followed by Red 8. Looking left with the smoke is Red 7. He is followed by Red 9. The 4 jets descending down to treetop height now. They are closing at 820 miles per hour. Get ready. This is the Jippo Pass. Turn, says Red 6. Synchro leave their smoke on. They go to full power and turn away from us now. Each aircraft pulling 6G, or 6 times the force of gravity. So the pilots' G-suits have inflated around their legs. They're tensing their leg muscles, working hard to fight the G-force as they fly the Cyclone. Once again, Synchro will cross out to our front as they perform the slingshot maneuver. But you now need to look to the right-hand side. To the right-hand side to find Enid.
Enid, take on. Rolling. Ow. Down.
Get down, says Red 1. The wings of Enid drop down to form an inverted V shape. Looking left now is Red 9, a lone jet who's going to fly through this V in the Goose.
Right on 9. Power. Come in. Right. Bank. Nah.
On the far right of Enid there with the blue smoke on is Red 4. He is Flight Lieutenant Matt Masters. Matt is in his 2nd year with the team. He's a former Tucano flying instructor, Tornado F3 pilot, and more recently has been also flying the Hawk with number 100 Squadron. Now look straight ahead to find Red 6, 7 and 8.
Enid, smoke off, go. Jippo, smoke on, go. 9, 8, roll, go.
7 and 8 with the coloured smoke now rolling around Red 6. Cameras ready for the Vortex.
Goodbye, split. Roll, go.
Up through the middle of the Vortex was Red 8. He is Flight Lieutenant Mike Bowden, and he's in his 3rd year as a Red Arrows display pilot. He started his career as a Hawk flying instructor, then flew the Harrier GR9, then the Tornado GR4 before joining the Red Arrows. Looking back for the Synchro pair again, Red 6 right, Red 7 left. Descending back down towards the trees. They're closing at 800 miles an hour to perform the opposition barrel rolls. Now looking front left towards that big blue gap in the sky.
Enid, line astern.
Enid line astern goes, says Red 1. The smoke comes on, they drop down to be stacked now top to bottom, Reds 1 through 5.
Come in. Left. Now.
As Red 1 enters a left-hand turn, the following pilots use a lot of rudder now to swing the jets out in line astern.
Reverse battle. Stop. Close.
Normally we fly our formations with the odd-numbered pilots on the left and the even-numbered pilots on the right, but in this shape it's the other way round. Reds 2 and 4 are on the left, Reds 3 and 5 are on the right, but they want to go back to their normal sides. They swap like that as they fly the slalom. They're back on their normal sides now with Reds 3 and 5 on the left and 2 and 4 on the right. Each of the pilots pressing now the red smoke button so that they can then finish this turn on their normal sides in battle.
Let it in. Out. Rolling. Out.
Changing to white smoke as they roll out to our front right. Bring your eyes further right now to find Jippo.
Take your time, boss.
This is a new take on one of my favourite manoeuvres. This is the Hurricane. Reds 8 and 9 performing opposite rolls around synchro as they roll inverted and upright at different stages during that new manoeuvre, the Hurricane. Looking to the right-hand side again now to find Enid.
Good time, six. Rolling. Ow. One. Rolling. Now.
Coming in from the right, this is the Revolution.
Rolling. Now. One. Rolling. Now. Two. Rolling. Now.
The smoke comes on, they enter a right-hand turn as they finish the Revolution. Now the manoeuvre they were flying there was an aileron roll. Each of the pilots performing an aileron roll as they push the control column of the joystick as you fly the aircraft over to the left-hand side. Looking straight ahead now to find Jippo.
8 and 9. Roll, go.
The coloured smoke comes on, 8 and 9 roll around synchro. Get your cameras ready. This is the Jippo break. With his smoke changing from blue to white, this time on the left-hand side is Red 7, Synchro number 2. He is Flight Lieutenant Si Taylor. Si's in his second year in the team. He is a former Tornado GR4 pilot, but then he transferred to the Typhoon Force and eventually became an instructor teaching new Typhoon pilots on the operational conversion unit. So that's him on your left-hand side, descending down to 100 feet, getting ready to fly the double rolls. And Red 6 from the right.
Go, go. Go, go.
Now look to your left-hand side to find the 5 headlights of Enid.
2 and 3. Roll.
The inside pilots perform tight match rolls to the outside in the rollbacks.
Go.
That's the rollbacks finishing to our right-hand side. We need to now look left and right again for the synchro pair and their final manoeuvre. This time, Red 6 comes from the left and Red 7 from the right. Their closing speed is once again 800 miles an hour. They're going to cross 3 times in 360-degree 6G turns. Here they come now with the white smoke on. This is the synchro pair and the carousel. Remember, pulling 6 years at work, their G-suits are inflated legs, across 3 across the back, smoke colour from red to blue and vice versa. Coming around the front, they go back to white smoke. But now, Cosford, please put your hands together for the synchro pair. Now, look straight above the trees. You will see Enid once again being joined by Reds 8 and 9 for the displays finale. They're rolling out directly towards us, those 7 headlights shining towards you. And get your cameras ready.
No recovery, straight and right. 2, 6. Get a bit hot. 1.
1 rolling with red Mose Red 1. He pitches up to draw the symbol for infinity around the rest of the formation. This is the Infinity Break. You've been watching the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Red Arrows. Red 1 they're going to gather into a 9-ship formation and head back to Royal Air Force Shawbury, where our team of engineers will service the aircraft ready for our next event this afternoon. So they're going to gather up as a 9-ship and head back to Shawbury. the next event you'll see is the Typhoon. So keep this same orientation in your mind for the Typhoon display coming up in a few minutes' time. Ahead is that Atom, as you call it, out for Flight Lieutenant Ryan Lawton, who will coming in with the Typhoon display very shortly. We've had a lot of questions about the names on a plane programme. I can tell you that the names have been on aircraft, 332. There are thousands of names on the aircraft, and each of those who donated to have their name put on that aircraft, how that money has gone to the Royal.
Stacked it into the sea, so wasn't too good at that.
6 years ago, he became one of the first pilots to be trained in an entire onto the aircraft whatsoever.
Right. What's the thing behind the cockpit? That's the thing other people, they always ask me. In fact, sometimes
So apologies, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we're going to be seeing from the Typhoon FGR4 today. Hopefully I'll get some more information to feed back to you that we can tell you back at the PR trailer, which is located over in the RAF village, so please come over and see us. And hopefully support our two charities for the year, which are Combat Stress and the Royal Air Force Association.